Today, I'm pleased to welcome Anna Sardier, who is the Director of Finance Advisory at PwC. Welcome.
Thank you, François.
Tonight, I would like to talk about the recent survey in Treasury. We have two surveys we would like to talk about. The Global Treasury Survey, let's say, run by PwC every 2 years, globally, worldwide, with a lot of interesting outcome, and also to talk about the more recent EACT survey in the first quarter of 2024, and to comment the priorities for corporate treasurers. So let's start maybe, and having a look at the recent survey you run in 23. So it's important to mention the period because it was
the context. You're right.
Prior to the high increase of interest rate and prior to the, I guess, to the Swiss banks and the US bank collapsing. So what could be the main trends, and what is very interesting, the differences between CFOs and treasurers, because you make a distinction between two.
Exactly. So first of all, what's interesting in this one is the convergence between both. That's not always the case, but here you see that CFO and treasurer have common priorities, quite related to cash matters. More specifically to treasurer, we see that the cash liquidity management, the funding capital structure, but also market conditions are keys, and those are all related to interest rate context. And that's why it's great that you remind that this survey has been run in 2023. Answers have been collected, I think, first half of the year, and as you mentioned, before SVB and Credit Suisse. But already you can see that this is a concern because of 2022 legacy also, so the inflation, the interest rate that start to increase. And yeah, we see that already at this time, the cash, how do I get it and what I'm going to do with my cash is a priority for both.
Now, it's interesting because if we compare to the EACT survey, and again, done after the two big events we've mentioned, because they have a significant impact, as you can imagine. It's quite interesting to see that over the last year on year, it was always the cash flow forecasting number one. So this year we see that it's number two, but still high, but less high, I would say. Working capital is still well placed because working capital is the first, let's say, source of funding of a company. But we see that the long-term financing, it's the top priority. So although some of our members are cash rich, it means that for the one who are not cash rich, it's really a top priority. Could you, let's say, concur to this?
No, it's still, whatever that you be cash rich or not, it's a clear priority, how I'm going to fund in the long term. What changed in 24 versus 23 is, of course, we have, I would say, this softening on the interest rate market, but still you have different concerns. So the shape of the curve is much different this year than it used to be last year, with some stretches on the short term of the curve. So that's still a concern, what I'm going to do for really the 3, 6, 1 year horizon. So if the concern change a little bit, there is still an interest rate topic to address. And as you mentioned, cash flow forecasting went a bit down. I don't know if it's because we made improvement on this area or if it's because the long-term funding is really issued as a key concern. But what is interesting in the ranking you do is that you rename, and I think it's a very important action you took to rename the Treasury Technology Infrastructure Replacement by the digitization. And I'm sure that some answer has spread a bit between the cash flow forecasting and this fourth topic, where you see that transformation in Treasury is not only about implementing a tool, it's not only about big bang project, but also having always in mind that every action you take should be always with the ambition to prepare the future, to automate your processes, and that can be also done with very light solutions. So I'm mentioning robotization, AI, machine learning. So this is what I call more light solution instead of big implementation projects.
No, it's clear. It's what we decided, I think it was 3 years ago, to make a distinction, because in the past it was a digital transformation, and we saw that a lot of our members are still at the stage where they are just replacing a treasury management system. And so it's not for me what I call the hyper automation. It's more just to have the right tool in place. Some of our members have no tool at all. So So we made a distinction, and it's true to say that the TMS replacement is lower. I guess that it's because a lot of companies, and I'm sure that you will confirm, have already replaced and made the upgrade, and now they are ready with a better lakes of data to go to the next step. What can be further digitalized? What can be hyper automated, and where we can use AI? And about AI, maybe a question. So because we think that AI is the answer, the panacea for every single issue. Maybe I think that we are a bit a step too far. So it's just the early days, and when you think about it, we don't have a lot of solution based on AI so far.
No, but we're building some. Two things about AI. First, we're building them with the clients. So we have many projects related to identifying the business and use cases that will be integrated into AI solution. And also what is important for us, it's not only to provide the client and the treasurer with an AI solution, but to do what we call an AI factory. So supporting them in themselves, building an AI and integrating it into their organization. Yeah.
No, it's by the way, it's fair also to mention that in the frame of Journey to Treasury, together with PwC, BNP, and SAP, we work on we have a brainstorming group or session where we try to define what could be the solution, where AI could be the solution, at least the enabler to go a step further. But so far, we can say that at least for if I look at the virtual treasury assistant like Joule for SAP or Microsoft Copilot. If I look at the cash flow forecasting based on, let's say, AI, or at least based on a past pattern, it works quite well. The same for fraud detection. Yeah. So it's already a solution that we can see. So we also saw that bank, let's say, relationship is quite important. Coming back to your first point, so to get the financing, we need good bank, partner. Because still in Europe, you can confirm that we are still highly depending on bank funding, where in the States they are more depending on the capital market. So
So it's still very traditional, of course, with bank relationship, and very often with one strong partner, long-term partner. And that's why it's so key to develop and to strengthen the relationship, especially when you saw, you mentioned SVB and Credit Suisse. So when you have those type of events, how do I manage my relationship? How do I assess the risk on my counterparty? Also in this context.
Yeah. No, and another comment, so we saw also the staffing is an issue, how to attract, how to retain, and then how to get the right skills. So
and transformation is also a very good way to tackle that, to automate as much as you can the task, to free time, to limit, the staffing to very strategic activities, and that's the best answer I would say that we can address to the market today.
Yeah, to get the motivation from the team, so to have interesting project, also, to remove the repetitive task, and also in the same time to, let's say, better secure the processes by reinforcing or enhancing the internal controls. So I think it's an interesting comment, and I'm sure that if you want to know more about the two surveys, you can visit the PwC website, the Global Treasury Survey 2023, or on the ATEL or the EACT website, you will find the EACT annual survey. I hope that you will find interesting information in these two documents. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, François.